LEGO Ideas just revealed the finalists for the Pokemon Trading Card Game contest. One of these 5 will be an actual set in 2027 or 2028, and you could vote on which one it would be. It's linked in the description, but yeah, basically LEGO was like, hey, look, submit a project that's a display of a Pokemon trading card, not based off of any existing Pokemon trading cards, and one of these Pokemon, which was such a strange list of Pokemon, like it was some of the most random choices, and here are the 5 that LEGO chose to be voted on to become a set. So let me tell you which one's my favorite and which one I think is the most likely. Joltik isn't the most popular Pokemon, but I mean, I had 2 friends who were submitting their own projects for this contest for Joltik, and this is neither of their projects, and this looks amazing. This might be my favorite, but to be fair, I haven't taken a closer look at the other ones. I absolutely love how they have this electrical display going on here with broken wires, even this outlet which has a plug unplugged, and that's such a great recreation of like an actual electrical plug. The design here still has the essence of a Pokemon card where you have that framework and you have the details like the name, like the HP, multiple energy symbols, you know, one at the top right corner, one for the bug bite move. All of that looks fantastic. So yeah, this is really a Pokemon card with Joltik popping out. And the design for Joltik is a cool build as well. I like how they have the shaping, especially with the front there. That's impressive. I like how 3-dimensional that is, so that you could even take this apart and just display Joltik on its own. Such a clever build. I love this. The only part I don't like about this is the back, where some of the other submissions have a Pokemon trading card game back. The design is just kind of blank here, but I'm sure if this became an official set, LEGO would put the trading card game back. Then next up we have Rowlet Razor Leaf. The design of this has a really beautiful background of this grassy setup, and you still have the framework of a Pokemon card, but this one has a front layer and a back layer, even with that front layer being cut by a leaf, which is very clever. The design for Rowlet is also 3-dimensional, which you can see the shaping there is done really well. I like especially how they build the feathers right there, or I guess not really feathers, but the wings with the texturing detail and everything. That's impressive. But yeah, this is another really cool one. I still like the Joltik one the best. And Rowlet is kind of like Joltik, where it's not the most popular Pokemon, but I do think that Rowlet's a little bit more popular because this was a starter Pokemon. This one has the most detailed out of all the Pokemon trading card game backs of cards. Like, you could see how they brick build the logo and the iconic image on the back there. It's extremely impressive if you ask me, and none of the other projects go this hard, even if they do have some backing. Mew is an insanely popular Pokemon, and this is a very pretty design. I like the colors that they have going on here. It's almost a pastel background going there. And I really like how they do the perspective shot here with the big Mew and the small lands in the background. Seriously, this background's absolutely beautiful. The design for Mew looks great as well, and I like how you could swap out the eyes. So you have the open eye designs and you have the closed eye design. This one has less of the familiar traits of a Pokemon card. We really just have the framework there, but it doesn't have, say, the energy symbols or the moves that it has or anything like that. But yeah, this is a great display as well. Mew has posable arms. You can see how those use miniature ball joints, which doesn't look great, but you know, that's just a problem with LEGO in general, where they won't recolor these mini ball joint receivers outside of that gray. And I'm not sure there's any designs on the back here, since we don't get any shots of the back of the card. I do like the clouds popping out as well. That's really cute. And there's one for Arceus, which Arceus is an old-timer Pokemon for me. Not only is the build for Arceus absolutely beautiful, and how they get the shaping done, it might be my favorite of all the Pokemon builds we've seen so far for this contest, but the build for the actual frame of the Pokemon card looks great. I love that mystical background there, using interesting pieces like the whip piece there. You still have the energy symbol, you have the name in the corner, and you have that frame in yellow. And the back does have traits of a Pokemon card with the Pokemon logo at the top there. But you can see how Arceus is breaking out of that Pokeball there, which has an interesting base. I'm just kind of mind blown at how clever these builds are. Like, these are some of the most interesting LEGO Ideas submissions I've seen, and people really thought out of the box of something that could have been very limited for this Pokemon card contest. This looks gorgeous from every angle, and yeah, this might be my second favorite, honestly. I am partial to Arceus, but I think not only is the Arceus build so well done, but the framework and how this incorporates the styles of a Pokemon card really work excellently. And finally, there's the Gyarados Sunset Splash. The The design here has another beautiful background that uses some pastel-like colors, and I love how they build up the water right there using different tooth pieces, as I call them. This one has more familiar traits of a Pokemon card with that name in the corner, with the HP, with the energy symbol, more energy symbols for the attack, but I'm not sure which attack that's using. You can see how much this costs even to retreat and its weakness. The design here captures Gyarados in a more two-dimensional way than some of these other builds, but I really do like how they build up that head there, and I like how they have the 2D body design, which is almost mosaic-like. I like how we have water splashing out not only at the sides of the frame, but at the bottom as well. This one might be my least favorite, but it's still beautiful in many ways, and I think this is a fantastic build. I'm also not sure if this has any backing on the card, if they tried to replicate the iconic backs of cards. We have no shot of that here. Very clever build, but yeah, I think Gyarados and Mew are the most popular Pokemon of this contest, but I do think the Joltik might be the one that wins, because this one is just so creative. Like, this is the most creative out of a bunch of creative projects. Everybody did an amazing job here. For my vote, I'll vote Joltik, but I am very tempted to vote for Arceus as well. That's definitely my second favorite. I absolutely love Arceus. One thing though is I remember a lot of people when they saw the announcement of this contest in my video, they were like, oh yeah, this will surely be made into an actual Pokemon card. But when you look at the submissions, no, I don't think that's going to happen, because all of these are about how they fit into the frame of a Pokemon card. So it would just be kind of Pokemon card inception if they just had a picture of the Pokemon card itself. And then with how these pop out of the card itself, there's no way they would try to replicate the artwork and make it into, say, a Pokemon card artwork. So yeah, I think these are just one-off designs that will be their own Lego sets, and that's it. Which are going to be lovely Lego sets. Like, I hope these are like $100 at most. I could see something like the Joltik or Arceus one being like around $130. So yeah, fantastic submissions overall, and let me know in the comments which one of these Pokemon trading card game projects do you want to win, and which one do you think is most likely to win. Remember to vote. It's linked in the comments below. Seriously, you could vote until June 11th, 2026 apparently. And I still think it's really funny that they had that list of some of the most random Pokemon in my opinion. Like, I'm not sure what linked all of these together as the possible submissions for this contest. I guess none of these will have buildable figures. Like, we know there's Smart Play ones coming, but like, you know, the expensive buildable 18 plus figures that LEGO has been putting out for Pokemon. This is their opportunity to get it. Subscribe here for more honest LEGO takes and LEGO Ideas commentary. Check out that long video I did on the recent LEGO Ideas review phase that was announced. And I'll see you later. Peace out. Bye.